This is Chris Davis with the Baltimore Orioles, and I'm listening to Section 336.
Section 336. Section 336. Section 336. It's the new Baltimore generation talking about the Orioles and the Ravens. And someday Josh, Bert, and Matt might even find time to talk about the Blasts. This is the world's greatest podcast. No better place to talk about.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Baltimore sports fans of all ages, welcome to Section 336, Next Generation of Baltimore Sports Talk. I am your dearly sterling host, Matt Sroka. As always, I'm joined by the zany Bert Rohde.
Happy Easter, coconuts.
And the button lover Josh Sroka.
So if you're taking Easter, does that mean I got to go with the Happy 420?
We're a little late for that one.
No, isn't that today?
No, it was yesterday.
Oh my gosh,
Oh,
Josh.
I thought today was
Are you
the
still
20th.
celebrating? Jeez.
No, I thought today was the 20th. My calendar is wrong. But we are recording a day early anyway.
Yeah, special Sunday episode. Because tomorrow we're going to go to the Orioles game. We're going to
Right.
support our birds.
That's right.
We are not fair weather fans. We're going to support our birds.
We'll be
So-
the ones you hear on the Masson broadcast
Right.
cheering.
If you're at
quietly.
the stadium, come say hi. We'll be the ones at the stadium.
That's right.
Pretty
We'll,
much.
we'll say hi to you too.
Up
In Section
336.
336. Yes.
In fact, I challenge you to just yell for us from wherever you're sitting and see if we can hear you.
We might, yeah.
There's a good chance we'll wave back.
No, I'm gonna get Bert. I'm gonna buy Bert a nice meal, a hot dog or something.
That's right. I won the NCAA
yeah,
tournament
so you can start
bracket
thinking
challenge.
about what you want, Bert. But whatever.
Yeah,
a
I'll
hot
make sure.
dog
I'll make
or-
sure to bring my card to get the 15% off.
Something from the $1.50 kids
Yeah,
concession
yeah,
stand.
something from there. Exactly.
Yeah, I hope you want a kid's dog.
I'll take a kid's dog. Why not?
Hey, we got our Bay Sox night at the yard, Father's Day.
Father's
Day at
Day.
the Bay.
Day at the Bay. 'Cause
Nice.
It's not night and it's not at the yard. Day at the Bay. Tickets are $10 for June 16th. Come join us. You can play catch on the field. They're giving away a Bay Sox beer glass. And you get to sit with us right behind home plate. Really good seats. Bring the family and laugh at us as we throw out the first pitch.
Yeah, it'd be a fun time. So make
For
sure you
only
get your
$10,
tickets.
yeah, why not?
$10. Come on, man.
You could treat dad and it won't put a dent in your wallet.
That's right.
Right. It's a great family experience. Good Father's Day.
It'll cost about the same as I'm buying this kid's hot dog for Bert. It'll be about the same price. So that's cool. All right, and maybe the Bay Sox will actually win.
We're going to see some names
Yeah.
with it.
I
I'm
think
looking
there's-
forward to it.
There's a better chance to see a Bay Sox win right now than the Orioles win.
Come see the guys who are going to be hoisting the Orioles World Series trophy in 5 years.
That's right. But not this year.
No, not
No. They've won one game since we recorded last week.
That's right. They
Now-
lost. They
now
lost
the-
2 out of 3 to the Rays, and right now it's the 8th inning of the Twins Orioles game, so they're in
Right.
danger of being swept by the Twins. It didn't happen, but
Right.
they're in danger. Of.
If they somehow come back and win today, then I'll say they won 2 between our episodes.
Yeah.
But I'll keep you updated. Right now, 1 game
But-
in the past week.
But some things have happened since our last episode. Like
Yes.
Chris Davis still hadn't had a hit the last time we recorded, right?
No.
That was 2
Yeah.
weeks ago.
That's
No.
been 2 weeks already?
No. It was last week.
He got
But
his first hit.
He
I
got his
believe it was
first hit
after we
on
recorded.
Sunday, and we record, or on Saturday or Sunday, and then we recorded on Monday.
Oh,
Because that's the whole reason I was pushing the whole past Cedric Mullins with the batting average,
Yeah,
which he did.
Which doesn't make sense to me. And so what now, Josh? Are you going to give him the campaign? When will he pass Richie Martin? Is that what's next on your campaign?
I mean, he'll pass
Richie Martin?
If you want to go there, yeah, Richie Martin's going to get passed this week.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah.
Yeah, is this your game? And then after that, Joey Rickards next?
Joey
Like,
Rickard,
look out.
See, Joey Rickard doesn't get enough plate appearances.
All right.
But then the next thing you know, Chris Davis is going to be our representative in the All-Star game.
As what, a pitcher?
Maybe.
Besides that long ball he gave up to Scope, he got a filthy strikeout.
I saw that. Yeah.
How do you guys feel about seeing? We were watching the Twins here, and they got a couple Orioles, that were big parts in the O's recent history, like
Beloved
Nelson
Orioles.
Cruz,
Yeah.
beloved Oriole Nelson Cruz,
Yep.
Dan Duquette's pride and joy right there,
Yeah.
and then Jonathan Scopey. How did it make you feel after Rosario hit that home run? Whether I don't remember if it was his first or second or third home run because he hit 3 of them that day, but when he came back to the dugout and he did the high five with Jonathan Scopey over there in the dugout, that was a little sad to see them do the high five.
Weird.
Somebody's going to be having fun.
I guess so.
Might as well be Scope.
I wish it was my guys, but no, it's good to see Scope. I'm glad. I hope he. I mean, we wish the best to Scope. And if you're gonna leave the Orioles, go ahead and sign with the Twins. Who cares, right?
Didn't he get hit by a pitch his first at bat yesterday?
Did he?
I don't know. Cruz got hit on Sunday today.
Yeah, you can look that up. That
I'm pretty
might
sure
be
he got
true.
Look that
plunked
up.
in his first plate
How did-
appearance after they show the montage.
But he is.
Thank you, Scope. Here's
Yeah.
a plunk in the
But
back.
even when Scope was with the Orioles, like he gets hit a lot.
Yeah,
he
he
leans in
leans
there,
in.
doesn't get out of the way real quick.
But he must have been in that dugout, just like Zach Britton when the Yankees came into town, looking across like, who is that?
Yeah.
I see Joey Rickert. I see Trey Mancini.
See Chris Davis.
Who's the rest of you?
yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like how cool it is for Jonathan Scope to coach his former team, but like there's not that many
Like,
guys.
No, like
we hung out with.
Mullins came after him.
Yeah,
Villar came for him.
yeah. So they never
Nunez
together.
came after him.
did he? When did Nunez get here?
Well, after, I'm going to go with after.
Okay.
I'm going to say any of these guys. The catchers all came this season.
Yeah. Dwight Smith Jr.
Yeah.
You go through the line.
Richie Martin this year.
Yeah.
Dwight Smith Jr. I mean, there's
Ruiz this
you're
year.
talking
Yeah.
the guys who play with Jonathan Scope are Chris Davis, Trey Mancini, Joey Rickert, and then there's some pitchers.
Yeah. It's true, and so there's not all that, but two of the people that did play with each other were Chris Davis and Jonathan Scope, and
Yes.
that was kind of a fun moment. I know it's terrible. It's a fun moment to see Chris Davis first pitch of the at bat just throw up a meatball to Scopey.
I feel like that was a here, Scope. This is for you. The game's out of reach. Why not just throw one down there? Help his boy get another home run on the count. Because then he looked good after that.
Davis, yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Davis looked better
I mean-
than many of our bullpen arms.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure Davis is told like just throw strikes, please.
Right.
Right.
Let's all go home.
Yeah.
But this is the position player to pitch watch. We're at number 2 so far. So
Now, and it was right, and they said it was Hanser when
Alberto last time.
pitched, and that was because Brandon Hyde didn't want to put Chris Davis up there with no strikeouts or with no hits and put all the spotlight on him.
Yeah, but I guess that
pitch.
spotlight's over now.
Well, yeah, and I mean now that he's hitting the ball, he's having fun again. There's
Yeah.
less pressure.
Yeah, but we're about 1/8 into the season here. So I'm just doing some quick math here. We're about on pace to have 16.
Yeah.
16 times have a position player pitch. That's hilarious.
And if you want to count wins, how many wins we have so far in the month of April?
Well, we got 8.
Eight.
So if we're 1/8, we'll 64 wins. That's better than last
Better
year.
than what we expected.
Yeah,
but
so far
but
we
things
are
went
playing.
downhill after those first 2 weeks.
Yeah, congrats to the Orioles for leading all the baseball now in run differential. It took us a little bit longer to get there than I thought it would. But now at negative 45 run differential, we're number 1.
Well, and they're giving up 50-plus home runs the month of April. It's never happened before.
Yeah.
Alice Cobb seemed to imply that there's something going on with the baseball.
Yeah,
Did
now
you see that?
Yeah, now people are giving Cobb a hard time because he made all those comments after getting just shellacked.
Yeah, it must be the
But-
baseballs.
But
Yeah.
but I have been hearing talk about the baseballs being juiced this year before this week. 238, like the stats nerd place.
Yeah.
They did a
I thought it was
comparison.
538.
538.
Yeah.
I think 238's a band. 538.
That's Blink 182.
I'm familiar. I think 238's a knockoff Blink 182.
Okay.
Like a Christian version.
Okay.
If I'm remembering correctly. But anyway, 538 did a stat a few weeks ago where they, because of the number of home runs in baseball, not just by the Orioles, where they were saying it's on the same pace as back in the juiced ball era.
Yeah.
So they were implying that the balls are once again juiced because Major League Baseball did come out years ago and admit to juicing the balls back then.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised.
No, we've seen dominant pitching lately, and there's always that balance where
Yeah.
they want to bring the offense back. Fans want the offense.
People love dongs.
Yeah, you're seeing it in the NFL when they change the rules to be a quarterback pass happy system.
But changing the rules is different than like deflating the football.
Yeah.
Yeah, slightly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There-
you know what it is when
if that conspiracy theory is true, there's a manufacturing process that goes into making baseballs that they're purposefully adjusting.
Right. Yeah.
I don't buy it.
they did it in the 90s. They've admitted to doing it in the 90s.
So
and
why
what
would
it
they
is
do it again?
to
But
get more
what- and-
offense.
and-
It worked once.
Who allows them to do that? Just because they're Major League Baseball and they
Yeah, they make the rules. They make the balls.
They control
It's
the
not like-
manufacturing of baseballs.
Yes.
And they call
Is there some dude in
Rollers?
Delaware rubbing baseballs in the mud?
That's
in
right.
Delaware?
Yeah, mud.
Yeah, that guy's got to put the
Kentucky
mud on
or whatever it is.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
is that
Major,
what
it's
the
not
juice
like
happens?
it's not like they go to Sports Authority and say, "Orioles got a game today. I'll take 2 buckets."
Yeah.
They make them.
But they're juiced both ways, right?
How do you juice balls both ways?
Like I'm saying, they're not just juiced for the Twins hitters hitting dongs off Cobb.
no, it's just
Right.
balls are juiced in general.
We get the juice too.
Yeah.
But the problem is,
I mean, that makes sense. That's the,
The
only
juice
way
doesn't
Trey
help us.
Mancini's hit 6 home runs
It's
so
just
far.
it's just like the steroid era. It didn't help the Orioles. We still use the steroids.
yeah, I don't know about Trey Mancini, but like Dwight Smith Jr., who never hits home runs, already has like 4 or 5.
Joey Rickards got a couple.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, this is a little off topic, but my son's in T-ball, and they have us do all
Are
these
they juicing
fundraisers.
the ball and T-ball?
No, but they told us how much this rec league spends on baseballs a season.
Yeah.
$8,000
On balls?
on baseballs.
Where do all the
Doesn't that
balls
sound
go?
crazy?
They can't reuse balls from last year?
I think every game gets like 4 new baseballs, and there's T-ball, clinic, rec league, all
So
the way
that's-
up to like high school age. Like I guess
Well, I
they
used
use
to-
a lot of baseballs.
I used to coach softball, and I'd spend about $30 a year on balls.
Yeah.
So I guess if you're coaching then 30 teams,
There's 30 teams just in T-ball alone.
Right.
Let
Yeah,
alone
throughout
the
that
next
range.
levels
right. So that
up.
adds
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, I thought
Yeah,
that was crazy. Still didn't sell any candles though.
Yeah, that's a little. Guess I won't be starting my own T-ball league. That's a little pricey.
I don't think there's a big profit in T-ball leagues.
Oh, I'm gonna.
You gotta do it for the love of the T-ball.
Do you guys feel like when the Orioles lose, like first of all, anyone who's like
I don't feel anything.
overreacting to Orioles losing,
Yeah.
I'm not even mad when they lose.
No.
Yeah,
I get excited like on
the Facebook groups are awesome because the Orioles are supposed to lose this year, and there's people in there. The Orioles are letting the city of Baltimore down. It's like,
Yeah.
no, it's called a rebuild. Shut up.
Sabermetrics isn't
The
working.
the Orioles suck. None of these pitchers are good.
Yeah, we know that.
Right? Don't be surprised if you're listening. And I'm assuming we've got smart listeners. If you're listening to Section 336, you weren't expecting the Orioles to be good this year. They're never going to have a winning record again the rest of this season.
Right. They won't. And because people want to talk about when they were winning a little bit at the beginning of the season, and they are. I mean, to be honest, they're playing better than I thought they are. I mean, this is a team we talked about. They're on pace to win 60-plus games. I thought they would win like 45
No.
games.
Yeah.
So they're playing better than I thought. But a lot of people are going back to like the clubhouse mentality and how
The Cart Boys.
everyone gets along, and it's not like last year. Like the clubhouse is really engaging and
Yeah.
friendly and good, and all that's like well and good.
You know what that does? That makes them fun. That helps them have fun in a losing season,
Right.
And it makes them fun to watch.
Right.
You don't want to watch a bunch of depressed guys sitting on the bench.
And it makes it fun because they're not going to win a lot of games. But if they win one game this week,
It's fun.
that win's going to be a fun.
Like that game where they came back on Friday night? No, Thursday night. They came back after blowing it in the
Thursday.
ninth.
Yeah,
they blew it in
Thursday.
the ninth.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then they
yeah.
came back, and they
They
were
get
all
by Chris
celebrating
Davis,
for coming
yeah.
back, forgetting about the fact that they blew the game. That's like a great example of this team because there's no expectation. So anything like that, sure, they're expected to be bad.
Yeah, but
the clubhouse doesn't give you wins.
Yeah, that's my
it makes
point.
things fun.
the clubhouse like doesn't replace talent. Like you give me the best clubhouse in the universe. Like Burt would be a great
No.
clubhouse guy,
Right.
Right, but he's not going to help you win any games.
Now,
if
now
you
a
want to
ba-
win games, you need talent.
Right. Now, a bad clubhouse can hurt you and make you lose games.
Yeah, and
we
it's-
saw that with the Red Sox years ago.
And a good clubhouse can maybe help you win games,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But it's not going to take you. It's not going to take no talent.
Right. It's not going
right,
to take
and make
a
you-
40-win team and make you give you 90.
But
Yeah.
I would take a ring from a team where they all hate each other.
Yeah.
I still get a ring at the end
Yes,
of the day.
yes.
Yeah, but
Because, again, we root for the laundry.
Of course.
But usually you see teams with good talent and good chemistry. That kind of combination
Yep.
usually wins
Yes.
for the most part.
Right. So what do you want, chicken and beer?
No, I don't want chicken and beer. I was mad that today because of yesterday's doubleheader loss, the Red Sox finally surpassed us in the standings.
Oh.
Red Sox, it took you long enough.
Finally.
But now the Red Sox are ahead of us, which makes me mad. Though, like, I'm also like a little bit torn because when we lose, every time we lose against Tampa, I'm like, oh, that sucks.
Right, but it keeps them
Tampa
away.
gets a game ahead of the Yankees and Red
Sure.
Sox, and I like that. And I feel a little bit the same way with the Twins. Like, they're my team in the Central. I love Scopey. I love Cruz. Like, I'm rooting for them to win the Central. And right now they're in first place in the Central. And every time they beat us, I'm like, oh, that sucks. I want to win. But at least the Twins get a win.
Sure.
I don't feel that way when we play the Boston Red Sox or the Yankees. Like, I want to crush them because we win and it hurts them in the standings.
Definitely.
They were just showing a graphic on Masson about Ryan Mountcastle, the week he's having. I think he's something like 4 home runs his last 5 games.
Yeah, he's having a huge week.
And he's playing at Norfolk. He would be a huge upgrade on what we currently have. He would play first base.
Is that what he's doing in Norfolk, playing first base?
Playing first base. And apparently he's been pretty good from what I've read.
Okay.
Is there any temptation at this point to kind of pull that trigger? Josh, you were mentioning to me, and I'll take your word for it, that Vlad Guerrero Jr. is getting caught up.
Yeah,
soon.
He's getting caught up soon by the Blue Jays, I was reading.
Yeah, so they got their extra year service time or whatever, and I know Vlad had this nagging injury. They got rid of that.
Right.
So if you're the Orioles, would you be at all tempted to, now that Ryan Mountcastle is kind of hot, he's at the highest level, AAA, can't go any higher, you can't promote him past this. Are you tempted? He's still 21, Ryan Mountcastle is still a young kid.
Yeah.
But are you tempted to pull that trigger, being our best hitting prospect, to get someone to watch up here? Would you be tempted if you're Mike Elias to call up Ryan Mountcastle?
It doesn't do you any. What does it do for you? Give him what do you want to
gets
give him
exposed to
exposure?
Major league talent, yeah. So next year he can hit the ground running with almost a full year under his belt. I mean, I'm just asking if you're tempted to do that.
I'm tempted, but then I look at this season and I say, well, right now I've got Trey Mancini and Davis at first base, but I guess if you want to, I could see you bring him up and let him share time with Davis. Why not? You're putting your DH. You're putting like Nunez or Rio Nunez. He's been your DH a bunch.
Yeah, you combine them. That's okay. Renato Nunez.
Yeah, there
and
we
Ruiz are two different players.
But they're both playing DH.
Well, yeah, but Ruiz is the better third baseman. He's a little bit younger, the better third baseman. Renato Nunez has been playing mostly DH, and he's the better hitter. Like, what we need is, and you're right, we should combine those two people to have the defense of Ruiz, but the bat of Renato Nunez.
That's exactly what I said.
Yeah, if we can combine those two guys. I'm sorry, I said Mountcastle was 21. He's 22. In 17 games so far, he's batting .306.
Wow.
Has 4 home runs, but he's been on a recent tear. I think those home runs have come in the past 5 games. I don't know, Bert, are you tempted to get these young birds up here already?
It depends on if Mountcastle is part of the extended rebuild plan.
He absolutely is.
Well, then they also, is part of this rebuild plan, going to take some of these young guys that you might bring up early, like a Mountcastle.
Yeah. Is
he somebody you're going to extend? Because we talk about the clock starts ticking or whatever.
Right. Once you call him up,
if they're not going to pay their potential free agents like they did not do with Machado, or did not do with, or Phillies didn't do with, Nats didn't do with Harper. Right. Not saying he's going to be that. He's not going to be that caliber. But if he's part of that group, if you're not going to extend him, don't bring him up now. Yeah. Right.
But I think you would. I think we've learned a lot about how teams are handling their players in the past, like basically since the season started. We've seen more extensions.
Right, but it's only been like 2 months, six weeks.
Right.
We're talking 3-4 years from now. That trend could be completely different. Well,
and that's when the extension talk would start to happen 3 or 4 years from now. And we don't even know.
No, we don't even know if he's worth an extension.
Well, we don't know what the players' union will come up with. If they'll change.
Well, and that's why
there might be a strike.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
There's a
lot. They might change service time rules.
Yeah.
It's very likely.
That's why it's Mike Elias' decision to make, and he can't foresee the future, but he has an idea of what his plans are going to be.
Yeah.
And if his plan is, we're only going to use Mountcastle for the 5 years we got him before free agency, then there's no way they're going to bring him up.
Do you think it's any telling that the Orioles DFA'd Mike Wright yesterday because they had to, because he's been trash?
Yeah.
And they brought up Gabriel Ynoa, instead of a young arm.
Well, that's a good point. I was a little bit surprised because Mike Wright is not part of the future.
No.
He is what we call a placeholder.
Yeah.
And the Orioles have a whole lot of placeholders. And right now it seems like they're okay.
Right. But Ynoa is a kind of a placeholder too.
Right. He's a placeholder replacing a placeholder.
Right. So, so he kind of showed that like he wasn't going to use this opportunity to bring up a young arm.
Yeah, this is what they say, rearranging the deck chairs on the Titanic, right?
Yeah.
You're replacing one deck chair with another deck chair on a sinking ship, but none of them are going to make a difference.
Right.
And so Mike Wright, I think they wanted to get. See, I don't know if they think about Mike Wright. I assume they think because Mike Wright, they say, has the stuff, and I kind of believe it. He can get up into the mid-upper 90s.
Right, and they DFA'd him, and he sucks, so he'll get through and get into their minor league system.
And every home run ball he throws, I think every single one, is right down the middle.
It is. He has a problem with getting things like throwing on the edges.
Yeah, it'll either be way outside or right down the middle.
Yep.
And they hit a home run when you throw it right down the middle and the ball does not move. Just ask Dylan Bundy. He'll agree. And so, but I think Mike Wright is he's like 27, 28 right now. We tried him at starter. That didn't work. We tried him at bullpen. I mean, playing for the Orioles, you get so many more chances than playing for any other team. And even with all these extra chances, I'm a little annoyed.
29 years old.
I wish someone would pick him up.
It's time to give him up.
I wish someone would pick him up. I don't even want him in the organization now because if he's in the organization, he's going to have a good, 2 weeks at Norfolk, and they'll call him back up, and we're doing this all over again.
Yeah.
No, the guy, he's not part of our future. So if you want him here just as a placeholder, fine. But it doesn't matter. Even if Mike Wright pitched well, it doesn't matter. Mike Wright pitches well, fine, he pitches well. He's not good enough to trade him or anything like that.
Right.
And so whatever. Mike Wright is. People get so upset about Mike Wright, and he doesn't matter. He really doesn't. Even if he pitches well, he's not part of the future. So why do you care that he sucks? It shouldn't matter if he sucks. I feel the same way about Miguel Castro, even though I know Miguel Castro.
This is coming from the same guy who saying, "I don't know if I'm going to the game because David Hess is pitching." Yeah. He doesn't matter. Hess doesn't matter.
I know. You think is David Hess? I was having this debate with Pops. He loves David Hess. You think David Hess is when we're good? Let's say we're good 4 years from now. Is David Hess in that rotation? He's under contract for that long.
No, he's probably moving into the bullpen.
Is he good enough to be in the starting rotation when we're good again?
I feel like any of these guys that are in the starting rotation, I feel like the cavalry. You told me these guys were going to be in our starting rotation, and it didn't work. Some of them turned out to be decent bullpen guys.
Yeah, it's true. Though Andrew Kashner, placeholder.
Yeah.
Alex Cobb, placeholder.
Yeah.
And even really just a bad placeholder. I don't know what's going on with that. I was excited when we signed him.
Yeah.
He's been really bad
He's
and hurt.
A Baldo part
Yes.
2. Who else we got? David Hess. I think the jury's still out on David Hess. I think maybe he could be a fifth starter when we're good again.
Yeah, he sometimes looks good.
Yeah.
So there's a chance.
Maybe that no-hitter is still just messing with my head and giving me a false impression because against the Blue Jays without Vlad Guerrero Jr. I tell you, the guy, though, who's turned heads more than any pitcher in this organization in a while. I don't remember the last time someone started the season kind of as just another guy, and by April, everyone's saying, hold up, we got something here. And that's my boy John Means.
Yeah, John Means.
Yeah.
I've been hearing that, too. And I haven't been paying that close attention.
I love the way John Means talks. I love the way he pitches. He's so fast. There's 10 seconds.
Yes.
He doesn't need a 20-second clock. There's 10 seconds.
Yeah, I wish he was pitching Monday.
And he goes right after guys.
Yeah.
I love just his demeanor, his attitude. If I was to buy one jersey right now, it's seeing a month of the season.
You don't buy a Means jersey.
I buy a John Means jersey. I absolutely do.
Then you'll be like those guys
sold.
who are walking around with a Steve Pierce jersey.
Or a Bud Norris jersey.
No, he's no Bud Norris. No, I think he has the potential to be good. I'm excited, and he's still young, and I don't know where this change-up came from, but I don't care. I love it. I'm excited by him. Yeah.
Only jersey you can buy are the Legends right now. You can't buy a jersey of anyone on this team.
Really?
And be confident they'll be around.
All right. Well, John Means rocking this year an ERA of 1.72.
I know. I like John Means.
Has 17 strikeouts in 15 innings. He's 26 years old.
That's good.
Yeah.
Like it.
All right.
Let's hope it continues.
Do you guys find let me get you guys' take on this. There's a lot of games we lose. We lose a lot of games.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sometimes we lose them by a lot of runs.
Yes.
Like yesterday, second game of the doubleheader. Do you guys are you one of those fans where you find kind of silver linings in the loss? Like you can say, okay, we lost, but for example, here's what happened yesterday in the loss. And tell me if I'm forgetting something. Tanner Scott struck out 5 of 6 guys. He looked dominant with his slider. Tanner Scott still only throws 96. I
Right.
thought this kid was supposed to be throwing like 102 miles per hour.
That's what I thought. I thought he was
whatever.
supposed to blow it past the guys, and that's what
Yeah,
he's
and
got.
Bowie is
Yeah, but he
throwing
was
over
having
100.
control issues.
Yeah, he's
throwing
still-
100.
right,
so
but
maybe he has to slow it down just to get control.
I know.
I don't care. I want Wild Thing. I want him up there throwing it hard.
I do too. But his slider
some
was like
glasses.
the most effective pitch yesterday. But anyway, so silver lining. Tanner Scott had 5 strikeouts, most in his career. Renato Nunez had 2 home runs. His first game where he had 2 dongs. I'm trying to think what else. Someone had their first home run yesterday too. Was it Ruiz maybe? But there was you could point out, despite all the Mike Wright and the Chris Davis pitching and Alex Cobb and all the home runs, do you guys find yourself like drawn to and watching for kind of small upsides in the midst of this terrible season and terrible games?
For me, it's not statistically, nothing like all the stuff you listed is great.
Yeah.
But for me to find any silver lining, for me to watch a game or listen to a game, the only thing I'm taking away from it are the things that provided me entertainment. Like the Chris Davis pitching isn't necessarily a silver lining. But for me, it made watching the highlights, at least, because I didn't even watch the game, but I watched the highlights from that game because Chris Davis pitched, and I want to see that. I don't care who got their first home run. I did kind of care about Tanner Scott, but only because he was on Section 336 one time, and I find that entertaining.
And the other one I missed is Brandon Klein made his debut.
That's it. Yeah. That's a silver lining I would also agree with.
So your silver lining are debuts and highlight plays.
Things
like
that things that make me want to actually watch
Yeah.
or listen.
So I'm there with you, Matt. I don't know if you guys know this. I wrote an article a couple weeks ago for Fansided
No, I did not.
for Birds Watcher, which is the Orioles division of Fansided. And I'm going to start writing like little opinion pieces once a month for them. So I wrote one a couple weeks ago about how to be an Oriole fan in 2019, and that I went with the silver lining approach. I said you got to watch every game as if it's spring training. The scores don't matter, and you watch the games cheering for guys like Richie Martin to make some outstanding defensive plays, and Richie Martin start to get his bat together, understanding the fact that he's a double-A player. So I do watch the games with those silver linings. Yeah. And I try not to be embarrassed because I think it was pre-show. I told you guys once a week is my embarrassment level. They can embarrass me once a week.
Yeah.
More than that, it sucks.
Yeah. Though I do enjoy position players pitching, and that only happens when you get embarrassed.
Yes,
true.
That's true.
So that's a little bit of a.
But that's a silver. But no.
Catch-22.
But see, that's where you're that's where you're going for that silver lining in the loss.
Yeah.
That would be considered a catch-22, right?
Yeah. That thing that's used appropriately.
There you go.
Josh, can I talk about most pointless text messages ever? I mentioned Mike Wright as a placeholder, like he doesn't matter.
Right.
Here's the text I got from Josh. Mike Wright DFA'd. Gabriel, called up.
Yeah.
That was the most pointless text message.
That's because that wasn't for you.
I've ever received in my life.
You're on that group text. It's for Dad.
Oh, well,
Because
again.
he loves Mike Wright.
Okay. I don't know why you would ever text anything about Mike Wright happening. A text message is for important things that happen related to the Orioles. It
was Easter morning. Yeah. I was bored.
Okay.
I was sitting through my fourth sermon.
I don't want you to text me on Mike Wright updates.
And had
4 sermons.
The same sermon 4 times today for me.
At least you knew when to
cheer
at the right point.
I ran down for 4
Spoiler alert,
for 4
he
different
rose
sermons.
from the dead.
Yeah.
Right, all 4 times.
What's that? The George Costanza scene where he goes into the movie and he has this great line. Then he goes in the same movie again,
yes,
just so he can restate the same great line.
That had to hurt.
Right.
Exactly.
You're kind of there because I think there was a line in the sermon of like, what is it? Mary Magdalene and the other ladies went to the tomb, and guess what? Spoiler alert!
Dramatic pause.
Right.
Yeah. But I too, like, I think it's a big deal that Nunez is playing well. I think it's a big deal that Dwight Smith Jr. is playing well. And I think those guys can play well. And if Mike Wright gives up 10 runs, like, it's not a win in my book, but
right. But it's okay.
It's okay because I'm more concerned with the young players playing well than I am with how Mike Wright plays. Not to pick on Mike Wright, even Alex Cobb, right? Alex Cobb, his playing doesn't interest me that much.
No.
How Richie Martin, you're right, Josh. How Richie Martin, how Dwight Smith Jr. plays.
How about Alberto's
how Ruiz plays.
Does he intrigue you?
No,
fans excite him, and I don't understand why.
He's the one who had his first home run. That's I said Ruiz. No, Alberto had his first home run yesterday. That was another silver lining.
Gotcha.
But But no, he doesn't really intrigue me. I'm interested that he's kind of large and can play a lot of positions. Like,
And
that's
he's
kind of
just
funny to me.
A goofy guy.
You got like
Yeah.
a big guy. Yeah.
I like the photos of him on the bench with the other players.
Yeah, he seems to be
Like
entertaining.
he looks like he's like the clown or something.
Yeah, at one point I saw him rolling the camera.
Yeah,
There was one
exactly.
shot when Severino knocked the ball
He
down.
seems
or
like the
something.
type of guy where if he was in the bullpen, he'd be crawling underneath the benches to tie their shoes together and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, if you were going to have to watch a team lose 120 baseball games,
Yeah.
this is not a terrible team to watch to do
True.
that. I mean, the catchers are always pumped up. You love that. A lot of the pitchers work fast. You got a fiery Manager Hyde. He's fiery.
Yeah.
And no one told him that they're supposed to lose 120 games. He doesn't coach like
Right.
that.
They're losing constantly, and him and the other coaches keep getting ejected.
I know. It's like they think
They're
they're
out there
supposed.
fighting.
It's like they think they're supposed to win or something. They
Right.
get
I got to
mad when they
stand up for
lose.
my players.
Yeah, like
The-
dude, chill.
The doubleheader was a little painful. Like that's
Yes.
that's too much baseball for this team.
Yes.
Right now on
Yeah.
a single day.
You normally love doubleheaders. Like I'm a huge fan that they should be more off days.
Yeah.
and
Oh
more
yes.
doubleheaders.
Yes.
Yes.
Theoretically, I would have been all about
But not with
yesterday.
this team. Yeah, the one ticket for 2 games.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
That's great.
Yeah, but
a
no
great
one
thing.
should have to watch. And then the second game, if you stayed throughout the first game.
Yeah, I mean, it was apparent by the end of the first inning they weren't
Yeah.
No,
ready for
I'm,
two
right.
baseball
I'm,
games.
I'm surprised no one jumped off the upper deck in that second
Yeah.
game.
I mean, at least
they
you're
were
right.
there all day.
The second game, the game was over by the second inning. So at least there's that.
I was really hoping for the comeback tie at the end of the first game to go to the extra
Yeah,
innings for the
make it
first
go
game
deep.
and then still have to play a second game with the late start.
Yep.
Oh shoot! The Orioles just were up the bases loaded.
Yeah.
2 outs down by 1 run. And was that Severino up?
Yeah, they were
Yeah.
trying
Popped out.
3 out, 3 balls, 1 strike.
Yeah, headers
And,
down.
and that fourth that 1 strike, that was a ball. That was way
was it?
outside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's
So-
another loss. You hate to see that.
I thought the Twins were going to pull an Orioles and walk in the tie and run.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's another win for the Twins, so
The
that's
Twins
good.
yeah, separate themselves from the Indians, so that's good to see.
And another loss for Dylan Bundy,
All right.
0-3.
Bring on the White Sox.
Yeah, we do have the White Sox coming in this week, so that should be 2 bad teams, 2 rebuilding teams, I should say. They're not bad teams; they're rebuilding teams with the White Sox and the Orioles. So that should be interesting. We're gonna go see Hess tomorrow. Means they've been using Means as a starting out of bullpen. Can we get it? Has there been a consensus on how Means is used since he's now my new favorite player? Is he a starter or is he a bullpen guy from here on out? Can we get a little bit of a consensus on this?
No decision yet.
Okay.
All we know is that it is Hess pitching on Monday and it's Cashner on Tuesday.
Yep.
And we don't have anyone passed on?
No, we don't have any,
So-
we don't know anything past
It's
them.
probably one of those things where, like, if they use
Means in the pen,
Yeah.
right. If
Though-
not, they can push him.
Though I do feel like Hyde feels like this, and I would agree with him. Bringing in Means, like, if you have a chance to even maybe win a game, you got to pull out all the stops. There's not going to be many chances to win many games this year.
Right.
So, like, go for it. This is like a 1-game wild card playoff every game for Hyde, where, like, you don't know when you're going to have a chance to win another game. So, like, when it's close into the 5th or 6th inning, like, throw it all out the window. You got to do whatever it takes to win, try to win a game.
So Hyde has shown that he likes this opener situation. You think if you were Brandon Hyde, would you be tempted to use Chris Davis as your opener?
Oh,
That way you can fit in Trey Mancini at first base.
That would be a silver lining. That
know,
would be what I'd call
you
a
know,
silver lining. I would
you-
actually
you-
tune in for that.
People will tune in. Think about ballpark. You got to get people into the stadium. Imagine if on Monday night you knew that on Wednesday night Chris Davis was starting the game. You knew he'd only pitch an inning or 2, but you'd go
I'd watch it on TV.
or right.
I wouldn't drive downtown just to see that.
But this
And
goes back to the
I'd
discussion
combine
that-
it with a Chris Davis bobblehead as a pitcher.
All right, then maybe you got me.
But this goes back to the idea that Manager Hyde is trying to win. There was an interesting article on Fans Graphs. I don't know if you guys saw this, called Brandon Hyde: A Day in the Life of Big League Manager,
Okay.
where it went over his day. Did you guys see this article?
He counts as a big league manager.
Yeah.
It's his first year.
Here's Brandon Hyde talking about what he does every day.
All right.
See if you can get behind this.
Okay.
I get up, have coffee or tea, and read the news from the night before. I look through world events and sporting events. The baseball news I read is national because I want to keep up with what's happening throughout the game.
Oh, yeah, and it's got to be depressing if he's only reading about the Orioles.
And then it says from there, I usually try to hang out with my family for a couple hours before I go to the ballpark. Or I'm on the road. I'll do something like go out to the driving range. I'll do something relaxing. I get to the park fairly early for a night game that's around noonish, maybe 12:30ish. The first thing I do is double check the lineup, which has already been set. That happened the night before. putting the line. I want you to here's the important part. Listen
Okay.
up, boys and girls.
So far, it sounds just like mine.
I know. So far, I'm waiting for like what makes him special.
This is everybody's morning. Putting the lineup together. Here we go. How he puts the lineup together. Do you know where this is going?
On the toilet.
I get information from the analytics department.
Right.
Okay.
I get it from Sig Mejdal, and there will be a lot more of it as we go along.
So,
We're still kind of bare
All right.
bones
So they're building the lineup for him.
because there wasn't one before. Sig is basically starting from scratch. This is all high talking. So I get some information from Sig. I talk to our video guys who do run production and run prevention stuff. I also usually talk to a couple of our coaches. Then I set the lineup. That sounds like a lot of work just to set the lineup that's the same every single day.
Sounds like
Just
But
to
whatever.
sounds like
watch
a
him
lot
go
of-
lose 7-0 in the third
And
inning.
it sounds like a lot of work he's doing the last hour of his day.
I actually
Like well, he could have done that throughout the day if he didn't like hang out with family and relax
listen,
at
he
home.
says this,
Go
actually-
to the driving
He
range.
said, actually, I have tomorrow's done, kind of scratch, and after today's game, I'll solidify it. Once I do, I'll give it to the field coordinator, Tim Cousins. He'll text it to the players, so they'll have it the night before. Yeah. So that's something's new too.
Hey,
He'll
Brent,
text the
Manager Hyde, how do I get on that text thread?
Yeah.
Can I get that? Can I get that too?
But
I don't think he's necessarily doing too much or too little. I think it sounds fairly normal.
Yeah.
But it does sound like there's a lot of people putting in a lot of work to watch it completely blow up in their face in the first 3 innings of the game.
yeah.
Right?
No,
Well, that's exactly what happened yesterday.
But I think-
Somebody spent a lot of time analyzing statistics and video footage to put together the best possible lineup, and
Right.
you know.
But then isn't that better than like Buck Showalter, who would just use the same lineup over and over again?
Oh, I agree. Yeah, I agree with that.
So
And
here's
I think it's like he said, it's still bare bones. They're still
Right.
building.
And
something.
I like that it's like it's a team mentality. I like that. I like that there's a bunch of people getting involved in it to put the lineup together. I like that. Not for this year. This year it doesn't matter. But building all of these just like the players on the field, building all of this behind the scenes stuff is going to bring winning.
Yeah. Here's some more stuff from Hyde. He says, I have daily conversations with Mike Elias. We usually talk multiple times a day, so some of them are basically check-ins. Mike isn't on this trip, so I texted him. This is, I guess, the last road trip. Mike isn't on this trip, so I texted him this morning, and we'll talk after the game. We talked after the game last night. It's a real small front office here, so it's mainly me and him talking about our club, talking about the game.
Okay. So what's it like? You up? You watch the game?
Yeah, like it's funny, right? Because it seems to be
You
like
see I put Chris Davis in his picture.
yeah, it seems like the whole office is Mike and Sig. And,
It
and
is.
Hyde. Like
It
that's-
is. There was no one
That's all
there.
there is, yeah. And then lastly, I'll close with this. He says, I try to touch every single player each day. I don't know
Physically?
why I emphasize touch like that. I try to touch. I didn't mean to say it like that. It's just, yeah. Whether it's in my office, walking through the clubhouse,
or in the shower.
guys, shut up. Waking,
Jerry Sandusky thing going on.
walking around during batting practice. I try to keep a good relationship with all the players. That goes back to what I was saying about wanting to cultivate a good atmosphere. And then he goes on to talk about the media and interviewing and all that stuff. But
I do like Manager Hyde.
yeah, I like Manager Hyde too. But I mean, right there, right? Like, I don't
Yeah.
think Buck was getting. I don't think Dan Duquette was telling Buck how to set the lineup.
And I've never heard of Buck touching anyone.
Right, but I mean, clearly, Manager Hyde gets information from the analytics department
Yes.
to
I feel like
inform his
like
lineup.
Buck would say something if Dan Duquette tried to give him a lineup.
Yeah, I think this is part of what makes Manager Hyde appealing, is that he's a bit of a I don't
Yes
want to say
man?
puppet, and I don't want to say yes man, but he takes in.
He knows his role.
He knows his role.
Right.
Yeah, that's a good way to
and
put it. He knows
and
his
it
role.
is something where we said, like, after Buck and Dan, we wanted a front office and manager that worked together.
Yeah.
We didn't want this whole conflict of the two like we had.
Yeah. And I would want, like, my analytics department, whose whole job it is to look at these kind of subtle stats, to tell me where guys would perform best in the lineup. Like, I would welcome that information.
And, yeah, and because they're doing all that work, you can relax with your coffee and read about current events.
Yeah, that's right. And hang out with your family or
Exactly.
go to the driving range.
Exactly, because it's not your job to look up the stats and who's pitching tomorrow.
Yeah. What would you prefer if you worked 24 hours a day? Is that the deal?
No,
you
I
don't like taking an hour off to hang out with his family?
No.
Just
you
that
don't
was
want
me
his
8
man-
and 15. I
You
feel
know,
terrible for
You
him.
know, if it was Buck Showalter, it'd take him all day just to text that lineup out. Pressing the little buttons.
Yeah. Are you okay with them texting the whole lineup to the players the day ahead of time?
Yeah. I mean, I'm
I
sure
like to
I
go
like
to the
it.
stadium and look to find your name on the wall.
I'm sure it's tentative, but why not let your players mentally get ready?
Yeah, that's what Hyde thinks. Manager Hyde. So that's just a little blurb from him on Fangraphs.
I
You
like
guys can
that.
check that out. Yeah, it was a good little insight into because how the analytics works practically. I don't think
There weren't any before.
and appreciate. And there's more in there I didn't read about the work he does prior to a series, watching a bunch of video and stuff. Like Manager Hyde, he's putting in the work, and the players are putting in the work. They just don't have enough talent right now to compete, but they're putting in the work, and this is kind of the foundation, right? Of what's going
and that's what we want, the process to start.
Sure.
And it's got to start there in the warehouse, in the clubhouse, and then eventually it'll move out into the field. Last week I talked with Alex Murphy.
right.
About because he's still down at extended
Minor league catcher.
Minor league catcher. He's still down at
Local
extended spring training because he's still recovering from an injury.
Yeah.
And he was talking about how the analytics department is giving the pitchers, even down there, tons of data to work with.
Yeah, that's cool.
So it's cool to see that process start to work.
Yeah, it doesn't happen overnight, right?
Right. We're not going to see results. I really want to know, and we won't get this answer until much later in the season, about all the work that was put into Chris Davis.
Yeah.
And then him finally getting hits.
Yeah.
And is that because of the work they've been doing, or did he just get lucky?
I mean, I think the most obvious way you see it, though, because in so many ways you don't see it, but one of the obvious ways is the defensive positioning of the defense.
Well, we're on pace to now shift almost double what we've shifted last year.
And our outfielders are playing a lot deeper.
Now, our outfielders keep running into each other, and it's driving me crazy.
Well, it's just Cedric Mullins is too fast, and he's a ball hog.
Today, Dwight Smith Jr. was lined up to catch the ball, and Joey Rickert ran into him.
Yeah.
Dwight Smith still caught it.
I couldn't. I saw who were playing the Rays. I couldn't believe this. You guys see this? Joey Rickard was up.
Yeah.
They had a shift on him. They had 4 outfielders lined up in the outfield. You guys saw
the Rays have been doing
Joey
that.
Joey Rickard, 4 outfields against Joey Rickard
because he doesn't hit the ball on the ground.
That's it was like a softball outfield.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I guess he doesn't hit the ball on the ground to the opposite field. So 4 out. That was like
right.
4 outfielders.
But
Joey Rickard.
It's the Orioles are shifting almost twice the amount, and it's working for them. They're getting more outs.
Yeah, the problem is, though, it's hard to play defense against balls that go over the fence. You can have the best defense in the world.
The long ball beats every shift.
And the Orioles have given up, I think this is true, the most long balls in all of baseball. I might be just making that up.
Yeah.
It feels like
they've
given up the most long balls.
Remember, that was always Chris Davis's thing, is I don't need to worry about the shift because I'll just beat it by hitting it over him.
I saw there was a graphic that the Orioles also have given up the most 2-strike hits in all of baseball.
Yes,
That's
2-strike home
That's
run
annoying.
hits or home runs.
Hits.
A lot. They've
Hits.
given
So
up a
there's
lot of
82
2-strike
hits.
home runs.
82 2-strike hits. But I bet they've given up near the top in baseball against in home runs. Someone can look that up. There's only one other thing I want to talk about before we get out of here. That was the Tim Beckham bat flip.
Tim Beckham.
No, not
Tim
Tim
Anderson.
Beckham. Tim Anderson. Sorry.
Tim Beckham had a nice bat flip, but that was like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, Tim Anderson's the guy who just got suspended because there was also a brouhaha.
Yeah, he got
after the bat
suspended
flip.
for words he was using during the fight, not the bat flip.
Right. Well, a lot of people overreacted and said, "Oh, he got suspended for a bat flip."
Yeah.
And then it came out later. No, it was for the language he used.
Yes.
Which I don't know how I feel about that either, but
Right.
that's for another discussion.
Bert, what did he
Would
say,
you say
Bert?
curse words or something worse than curse words?
It's something's depending on who you ask.
Yeah, let's just go through the alphabet. We'll tell you when you get the right word.
Yeah, it's,
Start in the middle.
Slurs
Yeah, slurs.
against a certain group of people,
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
So,
which isn't acceptable in 2019.
well, I guess right. It's a couple old white dudes telling young African American men that they can't use the word. That's what I saw.
Yeah.
But okay.
Yeah.
So I don't even know how I feel about that. to be
I heard
honest.
they're banning rap music from the clubhouse too.
Yeah, is that the next step to do it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or they have to bleep it out whenever
But
it says it in their
anyway,
songs.
so he got a 1-game suspension for that.
Yeah, but the bat flip caused a kerfuffle on everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
Did you guys saw the bat flip?
Yes,
it was
awesome.
a dramatic bat flip.
I thought it was kind of a lame bat flip.
Okay.
I didn't like.
He tossed it towards their bench, right?
Yeah, because it wasn't. I prefer the bat flips that are like kind of just the actual like flip.
Just flipping of the bat.
The flip
Instead
of the
of
bat.
toss, okay.
The soft toss.
Yeah.
Is where I like. But no. We're all pro bat flip, right?
I'm very anti bat flip.
Are you serious?
I'm so
Yes.
pro bat flip.
Why?
Well, here's
Let them
my
have
deal.
fun.
No, here's my deal. Let the kids play. No, here's my deal. This is like, this drive. I know this drives you guys crazy too. First of all, the ball is juiced, so I don't know why you celebrate and hitting a home run. This is like people who like, it's the Ravens, it's third, and 10, or no, it's 1st and 10, and the Ravens are down by 14 points, and the guy tackles a guy for a 2-yard gain, and after the guy tackles him, he stands up, pumps his chest, and like celebrates. Like, you tackled him for 2 yards, congratulations.
Yeah, but a home run's not that. A home run is points.
No, it is points.
Runs.
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 But it's the third inning. It was the third or fourth inning when Tim Anderson hit it.
It was an inappropriate time.
Yes.
I feel like a walk-off bat flip home run is one of my favorite things of all time.
Yes.
But at some point, like in the NBA, even college basketball, every time someone hits a three-pointer, they're like jumping around like they just won the championship. I can make if I'm left wide open, I can make a three-pointer. If you give me about 10 shots, I can make it. And so what are you celebrating? Something now the home run's a little bit harder than hitting the three.
Was there any build-up in that inning or any pressure?
I didn't watch the game. I just saw the highlights.
Right, because that would be my thing too. Is yes, there's an appropriate time.
Yes,
but
because I'm okay with pitchers celebrating, especially late in games.
The pitchers fist pumping.
Yes, I'm okay. I do too, especially at big moments.
Right, but yes,
right. Bases loaded, no outs, and you get out of it.
Oh yeah, and they get a strikeout or something.
You pumped your fist, son. Yeah. But like you strike someone out in the third inning of a 0-0 game, like chill out.
How about Chris Archer, bow and arrow, to the sky?
Fernando Rodney.
Archer and bow and arrow. I was getting mixed up.
Oh, they both played at Tampa. But yeah, I was okay with that because it was the end of the game, right?
Right. And it was like he was celebrating.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, but I just think
you're right.
People overdo with the celebrations. People act like I don't want to get a strawberry on you, but people over celebrate everything in our culture and society, right? You want a trophy, you want a celebration.
Bunch of millennials playing baseball now.
That's exactly right. You hit one home run and you want to twirl on the bases. In 2015, Chris Davis did it 53 times. A big deal, guys.
Yeah.
Okay. And now he can't even get a baseball.
You know what I wish? Yeah. I wish Scope did a nice bat flip on Chris Davis. That's what I wish.
Yeah, and I wish Chris Davis pumped his fist when he struck the guy out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like I mean, I'm okay with players having fun. I love stealing a base and like pumping your fist when you steal a base, or
I get what
stretching
you're
a single
saying.
but you overdo it.
What about the guys that bat flip and it turns out to just be a deep fly ball?
Yes.
I love that. That's great.
Yes, that's like the equivalent's like an air ball.
Yeah.
In basketball.
Right. The players on the field should just boo you. Everyone should boo you if you do that.
Yeah, or like laugh and clap exaggeratedly. But yeah, I just think I'm okay with everyone having fun, but like let's
do it
wait
at the
for the right
time.
moment. Wait for the right moment.
Yes.
Don't celebrate every home run like that. Chill.
That famous clip of Michael Jordan hitting the shot and then jumping in the fist. That was his first points of the game. That wasn't a big.
Exactly. Yeah. If you watch an NBA game now, you would think it's people do that all the time.
High pressure situations call for bat flips and fist bumping.
The most famous one is like the Batista one, which we hate so much, but that was like the perfect.
Well deserved.
Yeah, that's when you freaking flip the bat.
Right.
Absolutely.
And that would go along with the whole. Act like you've been there before.
Yeah.
And a home run in the third inning is just a normal part of baseball.
From no one who I get guy's name who I even got wrong until called him Beckham. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, a walk-off deserves a bat flip.
Yeah.
A big lead-taking home run, I'll even give you a bat flip.
Yeah, absolutely in a tough-fought game.
Yep.
But there's very few occasions that in the third inning you should be doing a bat flip.
Right. There's got to be some. There's got to be some pressure or some.
Yeah.
And maybe there was a backstory that I'm not aware of.
Right, some arguing beforehand, back and forth. Something. There's got to be something to add a little something to that at bat.
Yeah, I mean, in basketball, I was getting basketball time, but in basketball, like you get teed up for taunting, and that's kind of what it is.
Yeah.
But like in a big moment, do it, but don't taunt.
Maybe the pitcher had just slept with Tim Anderson's mother the night before, so Tim Anderson had a home run off him and bat flipped.
Yeah, that would be appropriate.
That would be appropriate.
If the opposing pitcher is sleeping with your mother and you hit a home run off them,
you can bat flip.
Doesn't matter what inning it is.
Doesn't matter the inning. It's appropriate to bat flip.
I think you can tell the appropriateness by the call. If the announcer is super excited for the home run, there should be a bat flip.
Yeah. Okay.
If the announcer's just saying it's back, gone.
I got to go back and listen to the Tim Anderson home run call.
The announcer can give it away if it's appropriate or not. If you're trying to figure out at home.
See, that's the problem because I watch all my games MLB at Bat App with no announcers.
So all the batters need earpieces in their helmets so they can hear the announcer whether it's appropriate or not to flip.
No, the batters know. The batters should know.
Yeah.
They know the pressure of the situation. They know what's up.
Yeah.
Sounds like he's just a bozo.
Like there was a Gene Encarnacion had a walk-off grand slam home run for the Delmarva Shorebirds
That's a bat flip.
a week ago. And he watched it a little bit.
Yeah.
And that's an appropriate one, I think, to
watch.
To watch.
Yes.
A walk-off grand slam in the
Yep.
ninth inning. Yeah. There are times. I'm not anti-celebration. I'm just anti-celebration everything.
Right.
Everyone get a
You
trophy
didn't-
for hitting a home run. We're setting records for home
Right.
runs
The
this
third
year.
inning doesn't win you the game.
Yeah.
We should come up with I could come up with a game and lift the scenarios to flip or not to flip.
Yes.
Whether this
Is that going to be
particular moment deems flipping.
Does that-
Flip worthy.
right?
Yeah.
Does that need to be our next little 336 video? We go down to the baseball field, do some bat flips, and
This is
appropriate
flip
or not.
If we'd have even gotten any hits at all against that ringer in the wiffle ball game,
Bat flip.
bat flip.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
even a foul ball,
Yeah.
bat flip.
Yeah, bat flip.
Yeah.
Even just making contact
A
at
tip.
all.
I
Yeah, a tip.
caught one off my finger and almost flipped it,
Yeah.
Your finger
and then
or
I
the
flipped my
bat?
finger.
Yeah, but this is also, I think, one of the great things about baseball. People whine about, all the unwritten
Yeah.
rules of baseball. This is one of my favorite things about baseball is being able to discuss all these rules and when to do it and when's appropriate.
Sure.
And don't even get into me about hitting batters, because I'm all about that too. But so many people now, but no, you might hurt them. It's not okay to throw baseballs at people.
Yeah, and the pitcher doesn't even get a chance to bat.
Yeah, so it's not fair. You could kill someone with that thing. I'm just like, everyone chill out. Throw the ball at his butt. He will survive. I promise. He'll get a bruise.
Yeah.
and he'll move on.
Yeah,
But
what about headshots?
Well, you rarely see an actual headshot
Because
on
you
purpose.
could kill somebody.
Yeah, maybe. They got helmets.
Yeah.
Has anyone ever died from a headshot in the majors? Like pitching to hitter?
I've seen guys get hit in the face, and that's always
Right.
brutal.
yeah.
Right. There's been
Yeah.
ugly hits. There was a pitcher a few years ago that was severely damaged.
That got a line drive backed in the head.
Jay
Yeah.
happened to him.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's true.
Remember
Again, I'm
some
changing my opinion. Baseballs
some
are
pitchers
dangerous.
have those hats now that have the foam inside of them.
Yeah.
The mascot hat.
Yeah.
Big old jumbo hats.
So they're-
Yeah. No. All right, but I love whenever the bench is clear. I love a bench
Yep.
clearing.
yes.
Yasiel Puig.
Was it the
I
Reds?
love-
Was it the Reds and the
Pirates, Chris Archer.
Pirates? Yeah, you had the
Yeah,
little
Chris-
ketchup and mustard
Yeah,
out
and
there
then
fighting.
and Puig was out there. I didn't know how he's even involved, but he was out there
Right.
getting into scrimmage.
Yeah,
which
man.
Love
Puig
it.
is one of my favorite players. I love that. So more excitement is, I think, good for baseball.
Yes.
And people complain
Will-
about it all the time, but I think ultimately it's good for
Is
baseball.
there ever
And
an
good for me.
appropriate time for an Oriole player to do a bat flip this season?
I think if you win a game,
I
If-
mean, yeah.
I don't know, if Cedric Mullins hits a home run, maybe he can bat flip it.
Right, I guess something like that. Right.
Yeah. No, I mean the same rules apply for the Orioles.
Yeah,
it's a
if
walk
a
off.
big walk off.
Yeah, or a big home run late in the game. I think you can, especially if there's tension before, especially if it's the Yankees or Red Sox.
What's
Sure.
a chance Machado does a walk off against the Orioles this June?
Well, it's
I mean,
better
not a
than
walk
none.
off, but a bat flip. I would think
They're coming to Baltimore.
they're coming to Baltimore in June. I would
Yeah.
think bat flip.
Oh,
As soon as he
I don't
hits
know
one.
about a
Could be the first
flat
inning.
flip, but there's a good thing that something could happen in the series. Just knowing Manny,
Yeah.
something could happen.
He's a hothead.
Well, yeah, he's a lot of things.
I thought you were going to defend them for a minute. You're like, well,
Yeah, I mean, I love Manny Machado, and so I think that he just plays the game a little bit differently.
No one will confuse him for Charlie Hustle.
No, he picks his spots.
Mhm.
Yeah. All right, let's get out of here. You guys can find us in all the usual places. Make sure you go to section336.com and get your Bowie Bay Sox Day at the Bay tickets.
yeah. Make sure you
Father's
are
Day.
subscribing on iTunes,
Subscribe on iTunes.
Spotify. We're on Spotify now.
Yeah. If you haven't
That's
left a
the only
review
way
yet-
Bert listens to podcasts.
True.
Oh, really?
Yeah. If you want to pay to listen to podcasts, subscribe to Spotify, like Bert.
It's just an added bonus of my
I know.
already paid for Spotify subscription.
All right. But write us a review on iTunes. Give us 5 stars. We always appreciate that. It helps the show. You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Section336 Show. You can also follow us on Twitter. You can follow me at Section336. You can follow Bert on Twitter.
At Bert Rohde.
And you can follow Josh on Twitter.
At Josh Soroka.
Thanks for listening, boys and girls. And as always, go O's.
Thank you for listening to the Section 336 podcast. Please go to iTunes and Facebook for all complaints or the occasional compliment. If I were you, I would not take any baseball advice from these guys. Josh and Matt were raised by an Orioles-obsessed father, and Bert fell in love with Don Mattingly. He has a thing for mustaches.